Take a look at your high school or university degree. If you did really well, if you got top marks, high grades, and endless praise from your teachers, I actually have some bad news for you. Your straight A transcript is likely your biggest financial and professional liability right now. In fact, the better you did inside the classroom, the harder you are probably crashing in the real world. This sounds completely backward. From the time we are children, we are told a very simple story. Smart people win. We are told that following the rules equals success. But right now, all over the world, thousands of highly intelligent professionals are stuck in average jobs. They are working long hours, sitting in corporate offices, and watching people who were terrible students bypass them in income, status, and freedom. There is a hidden psychological trap that triggers this collapse. It is an invisible mental mechanism that completely changes how your brain processes reality. If you do not know this trap exists, you will spend your entire life working twice as hard as everyone else, while wondering why your hard work never seems to pay off. We're going to look at the exact mechanics of this trap and how it is quietly ruining your career in just a second. But first, we need to look at the exact day the rules of your life changed without your permission. Think about the basic structure of a classroom. The game is clean, neat, and predictable. The teacher gives you a book. They tell you exactly which chapters to read for the week. Then, they give you a test based strictly on those chapters. If you memorize the data, follow the instructions, and don't cause any trouble, you get an A. The rules are clear, the boundaries are fixed, and the outcome is totally guaranteed. Your brain spends 15, 20, or 25 years getting a massive dopamine hit for being obedient. You are trained to believe that life is a straight line. You learn to believe that the correct answer is always available somewhere out there if you just study the manual long enough. But then you graduate. You walk into a real corporate office or you try to start your own business, and you instantly realize something terrifying. There is no manual. The rules change every single day. The person who is supposed to give you the test, your boss, your client, or the market, is often just as confused as you are. When a highly educated brain faces this type of pure chaos, it does something incredibly dangerous. It freezes. It starts looking for a textbook answer that does not exist. This brings us to a dark psychological experiment from the 1960s that explains exactly why smart people freeze when life gets messy. Researchers took two groups of people and placed them in rooms with a loud, incredibly annoying noise playing in the background. The first group had a panel of buttons in front of them. If they tried different combinations of these buttons, they could find the hidden rule, turn the noise off, and get some peace. The second group had the exact same panel of buttons, but the system was completely rigged. No matter what combination they pressed, the annoying noise just kept playing. They had no control over it at all. Later on, the researchers put both groups into a brand new room with a completely different setup. In this new room, all they had to do to stop the annoying noise was move their hand a few inches to the side. It was incredibly simple. The people from the first group figured it out instantly and turned the noise off. But the second group? They just sat there. They did not even try to move their hands. They did not even look for a solution. They had learned from the previous room that their actions did not matter, so they simply accepted the stress and sat in discomfort. This psychological condition is called trained helplessness, and it is exactly what formal education does to a smart mind. It trains you to only move your body and your brain when a specific button is presented to you by an authority figure. It forces you to rely on external instructions instead of your own logic. This creates a massive psychological barrier called the unlearning curve. To survive and actually win in the real world, your brain has to manually delete 3 specific pieces of toxic software that were installed in your head when you were a child. If you do not delete them right now, they will silently cost you thousands of dollars, years of wasted energy, and a lifetime of regret. The first piece of software you must delete is the permission habit. In school, you cannot speak, you cannot eat, and you cannot even walk to the bathroom without raising your hand and getting explicit permission from a teacher. This creates an adult who enters a company and sits quietly at his desk, waiting to be noticed. He thinks to himself, "If I just do a good job and stay quiet, they will notice me and give me a promotion blueprint." But the real world does not work that way. High value is taken. It is never given. While the smart, obedient employee is sitting at his desk, waiting for an official invitation to lead, a chaotic, average student walks right into the director's office. He pitches a raw, half-baked idea and takes control of the project. He did not ask for permission. He did not wait for a hand to be raised. He simply created his own reality while the smart person was still waiting for instructions. The second piece of software you have to delete is the fear of the red pen. In a school classroom, a mistake is a penalty. A mistake means a lower grade on your report card. It means shame, disappointment, and a red mark on your paper. Because of this, your brain learns to avoid mistakes at all costs. You become a perfectionist. You double-check every single detail, trying to make everything flawless before anyone else sees it. But in the real world of business and career growth, perfectionism is just a fancy, polite word for cowardice. Mistakes are not failures. They are simply data points. The person who wins in reality is almost never the person who is always right. It is the person who can make 5 mistakes the fastest, collect the raw data from those mistakes, and adjust their strategy, while the perfectionist is still checking the font and formatting on his presentation slide. The perfectionist is too afraid of the red pen to ever drop their product or pitch their service. The third piece of software is the complexity loop. Smart people absolutely love complexity. They believe that if an idea is simple, it must be stupid. If a smart person wants to start a side business, they buy a 300-page textbook, design a 50-step software system, and draw massive, complicated charts on a whiteboard. They spend 6 months preparing to start, but they never actually do anything. Meanwhile, a guy who barely passed high school just picks up his smartphone. He makes a rough, simple video, sells a basic service to his very first customer, and builds the business later using the actual money he just made. Simple execution beats complex theory every single time. The market does not reward you for how complicated your plan is. It only rewards you for solving a problem quickly. Look closely at your current life right now. Look at the projects you are stalling on, the business ideas you haven't launched, or the income level you cannot seem to pass. Ask yourself a very brutal, honest question. Are you playing by the school's rules or the world's rules? Are you waiting for a syllabus that is never going to come? Are you overthinking a simple action because you are terrified of looking stupid in front of other people? Your brain is incredibly powerful, and your intelligence is definitely not the problem here. The problem is the invisible school uniform your mind is still wearing every single time you try to make a big move in your life. The unlearning curve is painful because it forces you to admit a very harsh truth. The exact behaviors that made you feel special and important as a child are the exact same habits keeping you average and stuck as an adult. You have to stop acting like an obedient student waiting for a grade. You have to start acting like an independent operator who creates his own path. Drop the transcript. Forget the rules. The classroom is officially over. The real game has already started. Will you keep waiting for permission, or will you finally start playing to win?